So I'm just watching the everyday RC through the years. He's a cool guy, man. Wish he'd get back into some Nitro stuff though. But he's another guy that did the gamut of everything, man. Nitro, electric, X-Max, had a badass E-Revo. So anyway, man, cool dude. He's back on the channel, but he doesn't upload too much. So let me show y'all what's going on. There's hardly nothing on YouTube, man. Like, nobody's uploading anything. Nothing Nitro anyway. Not a whole lot of gas stuff either. So we will be doing some bashing this weekend. Again, I found a pretty cool bash spot for the Truggy. We're going to take it out there. It's actually a construction site out off IH-35 by my work in San Antonio. Open, no fences, no private property signs, nothing. So we're going to go bang on that for a little bit. So I know you guys don't like seeing a lot of my electric stuff about the E-Revo and all that, but I did run it yesterday. And I took some video clips of it, and I'm going to show you all a few clips towards the end of this video. But, you know, I won't be doing much of that. That's my daughter's truck, and I will video her running it when she does run it. So there will be some E-Word stuff on the Woogie Nitro channel from time to time. But that's not my forte there. Y'all know I'm Nitro and gas wholeheartedly. One thing I wanted to touch on was the whole Muffy Nitro Freak thing and all that. You know, we proved a point. It's all good. I think everybody needs to move on, just start doing their own thing. Yeah, he deserved everything that he got, but I think it's time just to let the dude be, man. Maybe he'll just fall off of YouTube, who knows. But anyway, to each his own. You do what you want, but it's starting to get old, to be honest with you folks. All right, so anyway, let me get into this, what we did to the FT. Been working on it for the past couple of days. I replaced the pipe with this is my third pipe like this. This is the Max T pipe. The guy, I got it from my local hobby shop, shout out Elliot, but he had put this copper tubing on the end of it. I don't know why. This is brand new. Maybe he was just trying to make a little tip for it or what have you. I did install the new gasket from DDM, the dual gasket and a new spacer. But what I did is I actually polished it. I sanded it down a little bit, got some of the rough edges around the inside of the actual port. I cleaned everything off of the engine head and then polished it real well. So I kind of rounded the edges on the inside of the port on the spacer so it has a good transfer from the exhaust port into the pipe itself. So we'll see if that helps out. I wasn't able to get in there and drill out the slag on this one because of this, but let me show you all what happened to the other pipe. These pipes are just cheap pipes, man. They're $50 pipes, but as you can see, the bracket broke off and left a big ass hole in the pipe itself. So this pipe basically is done for. And then, you know, here's the Botagel pipe. The bracket broke off on that one as well. So the pipe that I really want to put on here, guys, is the Bartolone 3234 torpedo, the side mount. But they haven't come back out with them. I don't know if they're going to come back out with them. They do have the 45cc pipe, but I'm not going to put that on this 36. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do next week is we're going to go ahead. They do have the Victory side pipe, non-silenced. They have both the silenced and the non-silenced, but we like power, we like sound. So I think we're going to go ahead and put the Victory pipe on here. I'm tired of messing with this rear pipe, worrying that it's going to, you know, get damaged or break right away. I couldn't even line up the bracket on it, so it's basically just bolted on here at the head. I'm hoping if I run it, it's not going to, you know, damage anything or break off the stud in the head or what, you know, the bolt. But I'm definitely going to go ahead and get the Victory side pipe for now. I know that's not probably the best option for this, but it can't hurt. I love the way this pipe sounds. I love the way it performs, and I'm really not wanting to do the V2, the other pipe for this, the upgraded pipe, because again, it's on the rear and it's susceptible to damage. I think that raw Victory pipe here, until we can get the Bartolone torpedo side pipe, the Victory pipe is going to be the best bet for this, because it's out of the way. It's not going to get damaged. It's a badass pipe. It's a raw pipe. And then later on, when Bartolone starts remaking and putting out the torpedo pipe again, then we'll pick that up and we'll set the Victory aside. But so what else is going on, guys? Other things that I did on this, I replaced the Walboro filter in here. I replaced the line to the clunk and the breather line also in here. I've only done one run with these full force Tygon fuel lines, so I didn't replace those yet, but I do have another set up there as well. I pulled my pull starter off. I cleaned everything in there real good. I put some dry lube on the little spring-loaded claws in there. I didn't want to put any grease so it didn't attract dirt and stuff like that. And I had to re-glue. My Velcro was coming off for my outerwear, so I cleaned everything really well with alcohol, and then I just put a little super glue around, not on the actual outerwear, but on the Velcro that it connects to, so I can still take the outerwear off, but I super glued the Velcro onto the pull start cover. Other than that, guys, I thought about going ahead and pulling this rear gearbox out and taking a look, but I've had no problems with it, man. So we're probably going to run this thing as is. I may take it with me out to the bash site with the Techno, but we're just going to keep running it. We do have the upgraded fast lane dog bones on there with the titanium pins, as well as the titanium pins for the Dark Soul wheel extenders. But the clutch is still good. There's been no issues there. I don't know how long it's going to last. Some people have said bad things about these roving clutches, and others have never had any problems, like John Bodegel, you know, and his Max T. He ran that clutch forever and battled it. I still don't know if he's changed it. But we're going to keep running this until it completely, you know, until it gives out. But right now it's not showing any sign of giving out whatsoever. I did order the LiPo, the 4,000 milliamp LiPo battery for here, since we do have Savox high voltage servos in here now. I am running the Venom nickel metal hydrate 5,000 milliamp battery in there now, but I want to switch it over to the LiPo, the one over at DDM. It's only like 40 bucks. And then I do want to do, I'm not going to do the push and pull steering. I'm going to keep this radio box and everything as is, but we are going to upgrade to the CNC aluminum, the spring-loaded servo saver that I can get there from DDM. I forget who makes that. One of those companies, FID or something like that. I don't know. One of those companies that makes that CNC aluminum. And we did upgrade, since we upgraded the Savox servo to the aluminum servo horn, so I want to go ahead and do a better quality linkage here for the steering. So other than that, I think that the new upgraded wiper arm here and the LiPo battery is going to help my steering a lot. The steering works really well, but only to the right. So to the left, it's a little bit lacking, and that could be my endpoints on here. But I mean, I went over everything. Everything is tight and right and straight. So I'm thinking that's not it. I'm just thinking that this needs to be upgraded in here, and we need to go to that LiPo battery. So I know a lot of people told me to go to the push-pull, but I just don't think I'm going to do that at this time right now. Maybe later on. So still haven't gotten my CNC aluminum motor mount here yet, but you know, I'm not really trying to do too much to this fifth scale platform. I've already dumped quite a bit of money in there. Maybe upgrade to the aluminum front shock towers, because I think that would be somewhere where it's not going to get damaged due to rollovers and things like that. I think I'm going to leave these with the plastic. These plastics are really good, and that coupled with the custom rear brace that I fabricated for it, that brace has been a lifesaver, man. It's stiffened up this whole rear shock tower area. So, you know, you guys that aren't going to use your front bumpers on these FTs, you have all the parts you need right there to fabricate this chassis brace, man. It's solid. It's good to go, man. So, other than that, other things that I suggest on this, of course, the fast-laying dog bones, but here, where your rear skid plate connects is just a E-clip. So I went ahead and got rid of the E-clip, and I drilled the hole out and just ran a bolt and washer through there and a lock washer just to keep everything tight in there. And I actually put lock washers here on this. This is the RPM rear skid plate that I put on here. This doesn't come on it. And I still haven't upgraded this rear hinge pin holder. It doubles a hinge pin holder and rear bumper brace in body mount. But I think that the pipe, the way this pipe is on here, it's actually rubbing right on this piece. So I'm 100% anticipating this to melt as well. So we're going to replace these with the CNC aluminum braces once we replace with the Victory pipe and get rid of this rear pipe on here. So, but we did torque these bolts down to 60 foot-pounds torque on those, and we did put Loctite on them. I know the engine gets hot, which melts Loctite, but I don't think it gets hot enough to where it's going to melt that Loctite. I could be wrong, but I did it anyway. We Loctited it, and we torqued them down with the torque wrench. The tires and the DDM bead locks, all this has been working really well. I haven't had any separation, the tire from the bead lock or the rim. Everything is held, and you guys know I was ripping the hell out of it out there. Other than that, that's about it, man. The mod here in the front has worked out well. The shocks, I got the washers in the shocks, and I fabricated my sleeves for these so they're not moving around as much as they were. They can still move when the shock is actuated, but not like this. I want to do something here in the rear as well, because these are just loose as hell, man. I think that's just, it shouldn't be like that, man. It shouldn't be wobbling in there, you know, that much. Maybe a little bit for movement, but not like that, people. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I really don't think it should be that loose. That's just going to be premature wear and tear on those eyelets on those shocks. So I'm going to try and do something about that as well. Other than that, man, that's really about it. I cleaned my filter really well. I put my TG foam outer filter on it, and then of course my red outerwear. I took the black one off. Really loving this glory hole velocity stack, man. It adds power, and it just sets this whole thing off. But we need to do a few more performance upgrades, and I'm going to start first with the Victory pipe. It's $220 over at DDM. I'm just tired of messing with this rear pipe, man, and it getting damaged, and I've been lucky that nothing really bad has happened on it. I just want to get rid of the pipe altogether back here and have it here. So look for that coming up pretty soon. Everyday RC did a lot of electric, man, but he did build that 4.0 as well. I really don't know how much I'm going to run this 4.0 anymore. This may end up being a retirement piece as well over there on the retirement shelf. But we are going to be getting another Nitro platform here in the Woogie Nitro barn. I don't know if it's going to be a buggy, maybe an S-Works, maybe another Techno. I love these Technos, guys. But, you know, why would I have two NT 48.3s or two MB 48.4s? I mean, you can never have too many buggies. Buggies are great, but I don't know, man. I think we're going to mix it up and do something different. And I'm not completely sold on the TLR, the 8X Truggy. But you never know, man. We'll see what happens. We are going to do something. So we're going to have another platform here, 5th scale. And we are going to do another Nitro platform as well. But I'm really thinking about retiring that 8T since it's all fresh. Everything's good. We'll just leave it over here on the shelf. I'll pull these down every now and then and run them. This Hyper 7, man, was a great first platform for me. This was my first 1/8 scale race buggy. You know, not a kit, an RTR, but the closest thing to a kit right here, guys. Hyper 7, Hobao, TQ Sport. I can't recommend it enough, man. Still has the original Hobao servos in there. But she's been completely redone. Go back and look on my channel. There's been plenty of you know, 20-foot high jumps and 50-foot launches with this thing. Not like the MB 48.4 though, where we put it up. This is the buggy that I put through the goalpost on the football field. Well, not really, because I refreshed the entire thing, but it's got the same shocks and the same shock towers. That's about it. Alright guys, I think that's going to be about it. I just want to fire this thing up for y'all real quick now that I refreshed it a little bit. So let's do that. That's the great thing about gas, guys. You can fire it up and you don't have to do any after run on it or anything. Alright. All my endpoints are good, so let's give it a little bit of fuel. Oh snap! Alright, take the choke off. Give it a little air. That. Where's the baby? I won't be doing it long. I forgot the baby was over. Need to adjust my endpoint there a little bit. Yeah, it's sticking. Here, let me adjust that real quick. I'm just going to do it this way. servo saver just a little bit. Alright, let's fire it up one more time, see where we are. Alright guys, so one thing I keep forgetting is a lot of times when you redo your filter, especially with this clutch, it can run lean because it's sucking this residual in there. So I'm gonna have to run it a little bit and see where we are. I'm thinking I was still just a little bit lean from that last run anyway on my low, so I backed off the low just a little bit, but she fires right up. She's good to go, man. So alright guys, I think still loving this, man. Futaba old school 4PK SR, and you can still get the antennas at A-Main for 25 bucks. Alright guys, that's gonna be about it. You guys let me know what you think about platforms for Nitro, what you guys think that I should be looking at, and put that down in the comments, guys. Alright, man, see y'all in the next video. I'm out. Alright guys, here we go. First run of the refreshed Traxxas E-Revo. Whoa! I forget how powerful these things are, man. Damn! Are you kidding? I gotta get used to this thing again. Alright guys, let's get back at it, man. This thing is nuts. I don't know what y'all can see. It's crazy, watch. Yeah, it's electric. Watch this. Oh, I did it early. It's alright. It's waterproof. Out here, I did a standing backflip. Almost. Whoa. We definitely got to get rid of that. I forget what they call it. Let's give it a jump.